best, man. Do this, distract some people from the tragic incidents that happened last week. Starting having good football. Good football game. God has given us a good day.
Gotta love America. Beautiful world we live in. In the midst of war, we're playing a game. That's beautiful. You gotta love them. God bless them.
And we are live in Jacksonville, where the Jags will be hosting Tennessee today. 9 games to kick shortly. Players being introduced all across the country right now. And as we get set to send it out to the games, your final thoughts?
I'm thinking about Miami. I really believe they're a team that doesn't get a lot of respect, but what they've got to do, they've got to protect Jake Fiedler. That game turned last year in the playoffs on that one interception, changed the momentum of that game. They cannot turn the ball over earlier.
You know, and emotion will be huge. Emotion will be huge in this game, in all these games today. But emotion wins the first series. Your focus, your preparation wins the football games. And I fully expect, like you said, Mike, that there are going to be some teams that will have problems focusing.
Oakland at Miami, players being introduced. Jerry?
Well, I think the big loser for the rest of the year will be the terrorists. You don't tack America and win.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 7, Kenny Mixon.
This is a game, Randy, built on passion and emotion. How will these players find both of those today?
You know, I'll be honest, as much as I love doing this show, I just wish I could be in one of these stadiums today.
There's Dallas.
The most emotional place you'll ever be in your life.
You're going to see more guys pick up their opponents than you ever saw. They may knock them down, but they're going to have enough courage and commitment to pick them up.
And Emmitt Smith. From the proud streets of New York, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for being with us. Coming up, it's game time on the NFL Today. We'll be here to bring you updates throughout the day, as well as scores and highlights at halftime. For those of you scheduled to see the Jets and Patriots, we'll see you at 4 Eastern time. In the meantime, enjoy the games here on CBS.
What is the Arab world saying about us? Are we the enemy, or are they as frightened of terrorists as we are? Ed Bradley from the Middle East, tonight on 60 Minutes.
All I need. I've got a brand new grandson.
I still have a younger brother in college. I email him a lot.
Very easy to use. Instant messages are amazing.
I love hearing
You've got mail.
AOL is really quick.
America Online has new music. I feel like a part of a community with AOL. She's always on AOL.
Customer service has been superb.
I love AOL.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE.
Welcome back to NFL Sunday Ticket, everybody. I'm Spencer Tillman. As we strive to return to familiar activities, here's a quick rundown on this afternoon's matchups. The defending champion Ravens take on the revitalized Cincinnati Bengals. The Raiders and the Dolphins face off in a rematch of last year's divisional playoffs. And Doug Flutie leads the new-look Chargers into Dallas. The 4 p.m. matchups are highlighted by a showcase of prolific offenses, the Rams and the 49ers, and an NFC West clash. Remember, for up-to-the-second scores, stats, and news from all the games around the league, click over to NFL Sunday Snap. This year's Snap has the added red zone alert. And to get you even closer at the games, access NFL.com for unique feature stories, expert analysis, and comprehensive statistics on Game Center. That's your best source for NFL info on the net. One story to keep an eye on this week is the Vikings wide receiver Chris Carter's move up the NFL record books. Week 1, Carter hauled in his 125th career touchdown, tying him with Walter Payton for 5th on the all-time touchdown list. His next score will move him alongside the great Jim Brown for fourth place. Also in Week 1, Vikings kicker Gary Anderson's streak of 236 converted extra points, dating all the way back to the '95 season, came to an end. Anderson has contributed this block ball right here to the NFL's auction site. All proceeds will go to team and NFL charities. Just click on auctions at NFL.com and check it all out. Exclusive memorabilia is pretty impressive. All right, game time is here. I'll see you after the early games here on NFL Sunday Ticket. But first, the networks have this special presentation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the RCA Dome. The events of September 11th have changed the world. Let us now take a moment to remember and move forward together in a new spirit of unity and determination.
For the National Football League and all Americans, last Sunday was a day of grieving, a day of mourning, a day of healing. It was not a time to play football. It was a time to lend a hand and give a hug. It was a day when our football heroes paid tribute to other heroes. Now, with a new sense of purpose, it is time to return to work and play, to open our stadiums and move forward, to return to football and everything else that America stands for, to take our first step together with dedication and determination, while never forgetting where we've been and where we need to go.
We New Yorkers are a strong people, and America's a strong nation. And so, we mourn those who died in this horrible attack and salute those brave firefighters and police officers and emergency personnel who gave their lives so that thousands could escape safely. We must stand united, united as New Yorkers, united as Americans, and committed that the freedoms that they tried to take from us will not only be preserved and secure, but will be stronger and greater than ever before. We will rebuild our great city with Mayor Giuliani, and we will stand with our president to make sure that our freedoms are secure. This is the greatest country on earth. God bless America.
Now, please stand and join together in a moment of silence for the victims of September 11th. Thank you. Your attention is directed to the field, where color guards from all 4 military services, the Boy Scouts of America, and the local fire and police departments are joined by the voices of IFD from the Indianapolis Fire Department, who will lead the audience in the singing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so
We'll be coming back to the RCA Dome in Indianapolis in a moment for the opening kickoff, the Bills and the Colts.
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a look at those teams and players determined to turn heads this season. Subway, eat fresh. On his 64th birthday, Bengals head coach Dick LeBeau was given the gift of victory thanks to running back Corey Dillon's 104 yards rushing in a 23-17 win over the Patriots. The Panthers have a fresh start behind quarterback Chris Wenke as the 29-year-old rookie led his team in Week 1 to a 24-13 upset victory over the Vikings.
The RCA Dome is sold out as the Colts and the Bills are about ready to bring the season back. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker. We welcome you at a time when the nation's honor, outrageous attack against it and the loss of so many, and now the healing process has begun. And Steve, I know you were a part of a Buffalo Bills team 10 years ago that played a very important game, actually a Super Bowl at a time of war.
That's right. The country was involved in the Gulf War at that time, and I remember it was one of the most memorable moments of my career was the national anthem in Super Bowl 25, and I know for the players playing today around the league, they're not going to forget this Sunday for a very long time.
Well, both coaches are deeply committed to bringing the game back and their players back after the layoff and the heartbreak. Jim Mora, the coach of the Indianapolis Colts, is a former United States Marine officer, and his counterpart Greg Williams, coach of the Buffalo Bills, had a very interesting perspective when he addressed his team last night.
Well, he brought him in and he said, you know, guys, I got a question for you. If you were in New York and someone handed you a shovel, would you help? And everybody nodded their heads, of course. And he said, if they handed you a rope, would you help? And they nodded their heads, of course. And he said, well, someone has handed you a football. Now it's your time to help. And I think that sums up the attitude of the National Football League today.
Well, coming from New York, I can tell you they could never chronicle the heroism of the people involved in that day of September 11th. I don't know if there's enough congressional medals of honor to pass out, but the heroism will never be fully documented. It's mind-boggling what people did in saving lives. Right now we're going to have the coin toss as we begin the new season.
You know, Don, as these guys take the field today after a pregame ceremony of which we've seen, and it was hard not to be overcome with emotion, these players are going to be so full of pride and so inspired. I think we're going to see some special things today all over the National Football League.
Peyton Manning, the man who leads the Indianapolis Colts, the best young quarterback in football. They're coming off an opening day win over the New York Jets. That was on the road. There is Manning, a sensational player now in his 4th year from Tennessee. And his counterpart, Rob Johnson, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, who had a tough opening day against New Orleans. He was sacked 5 times and threw a career-high 3 interceptions. But he's had some good days against the Colts, and he's planning to have one today.
When you talk to the opponents of the Bills, they see Rob Johnson as a streaky quarterback. When he's on, he's unbeatable. But if you can keep him out of rhythm, you can beat this Buffalo Bills team and beat them badly. And that's what the Colts are going to try and do today.
There is Greg Williams, the first-year head coach of the Buffalo Bills, after his years as the defensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. And across the way, Jim Mora, who spent 3 years as a United States Marine captain, also in the Marine Reserves. Ryan Moorman is ready to kick off for the Bills, and back deep is a very dangerous return man, Terrence Wilkins of the Colts. He broke a punt return last week, did Wilkins, against the Jets, actually 2 weeks ago, for a 78-yard touchdown. Here's the kickoff. Hit down to the goal line, and here comes Wilkins. Breaks it up the middle and dives out to the 26-yard line. Lance Brown was the first guy to make a hit on him. And now Peyton Manning brings out the offense of the Colts. This is a high-powered machine, as you see what Manning did the first week. Not a great week for him. He had the 2 interceptions, but they did win on the road.
He's one of those quarterbacks. He may not have a great day, but he still gives you a feeling that this team is high-powered offensively, and they can get it done anytime they want.
Last time these two teams met was toward the end of last season, actually, and the Bills came in here and were beaten 44-20. Manning takes off to run. Penalty markers are down. Manning heads for the sidelines. Takes a shot just as he goes out of bounds, but as mentioned, the markers are down. There's a gain of 4 yards on the play. The regular officials are back, headed by referee Bill Carollo.
Making their presence felt on the first play. This is going to be probably illegal contact down the field on the Buffalo Bills. And you notice there before the snap.
Got a hold on the Bills.
That's exactly right.
Automatic first down.
Just before the snap, the Bills stemmed into a different defensive front, trying to confuse Manning.
Holding 26 defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Look at the offensive front. Allows very few sacks. Glenn McKinney, Saturday Moore, and Meadows. They take good care of Peyton Manning. And some sensational players complement Manning. Edgerrin James, maybe the best back in football. Marvin Harrison, certainly one of the best receivers. Haythan's a rising receiver, a very good tight end in Dilger. This is a supercharged offense. And if you make any mistake on defense, Manning, who sees everything out there, Steve, he'll find it and beat you with it.
That's right. And you don't want to get off on the wrong foot in a game like this with Peyton Manning. They're running the no-huddle offense, and they can run it because Peyton Manning is so prepared. And now you see the officials are having a little trouble getting this game underway after that first play.
This is not just the renewal of the season for the officials. This is opening day for the regular officials.
That's exactly right. And this Colts team under Jim Moore went into New York on the road in opening day, and they absolutely shellacked the Jets. They looked like a Super Bowl team on opening day.
Manning calls everything at the line of scrimmage. All the line blocking, all the blitz pickup blocking. He completely runs the offense. It looks like confusion. He's out there talking, but believe me, it's highly organized. As the give is to Edgerrin James, and the Bills come hitting. Edgerrin James, who led the NFL with over 1,700 yards rushing last year, is stuck hard by Antoine Winfield. As we look at the defensive front of the Bills, Phil Hansen, Sean Price, Pat Williams, and Eric Flowers. Linebacker core depleted now. They have Newman and Foreman on the outside. As you know, the great middle linebacker Coward is out with an Achilles injury. In the secondary, Winfield and Irvin at the corners. Rayon Hill and Keon Carpenter are the safeties. It's 2nd down and 12. Manning stands Comes in against a blitz, makes a throw. The catch is made somehow at the 41-yard line. Still well short of a first down, though, as Jerome Pathan, who's had 8 receptions for 93 yards against the Jets on opening day, goes near to the turf and picks it off.
And you can see here as the Colts run the no huddle, the Bills still feel like they can make substitutions, and they have done that. This will work into their favor later in the game because an offensive lineman cannot be substituted for. There's just not enough guys to go around. So if the Bills can keep a fresh front four up there, that'll take its toll on the pass rush and the pass protection of the Colts later on.
3rd down and 5. As Payton sets up in the shotgun. Near side throw, it's picked off, and it'll go for a Buffalo touchdown. As the ball is taken back, and the Bills, Nate Clements, their #1 draft choice, runs it back 47 yards. So a rare big mistake by Peyton Manning, and the Bills jump on it, and they score the first points of the game with their defense.
This is the biggest change on the Buffalo Bills team this year. The defense is a come-at-em defense. They're going to get much more. It's the plan to get many more big plays. Nate Clemens, the first-round draft pick, in the game because the Bills feel they've got to be in the nickel package to stop Edger and James. They pick Peyton Manning off, and nobody's going to catch him.
So a dramatic start for an underdog Buffalo team as they come out and burn Manning and the Colts. A 47-yard interception return, and now the point after to be tried by Jake Arians, the new place kicker, who hit 2 for 2 on field goal tries against the New Orleans. He counted for the only points the Bills had in that opening day loss. The extra point is good, and the lead is taken by the Bills 7-0. Their first touchdown of the year. Peyton Manning checking some photos, Steve, taken from on high as the Bills jump the out pattern and get an interception and a touchdown.
Well, they fooled him with their coverage, and if you can fool Peyton Manning, that's good because you probably won't fool him with the same thing again.
Here's the kickoff by Brian Moorman, hit downfield. Wilkins again takes it back, this time from the 6, 20, 25, and he's out to the 28-yard line. Coming down to make the tackle was Tony Driver after a 22-yard kickoff return.
Here's a look at it from the top as you'll see Peyton Manning drop back. The pass is going to come out to the left of your screen. He looks at his receiver the entire way, and Nate Clemens gambles and gets the pick on Marvin Harrison. You don't see that very often. Don, you and I were talking for half an hour before the game. Peyton Manning, Edger James, and Marvin Harrison practiced routes by themselves against air. That's preparation, but in that case it didn't help them.
Yeah, they looked real sharp, but now they have to fight from behind. Favored Colts down 7-0 on their home field. Manning steps in. Long ball. He's got Harrison, and he overshoots him. Marvin Harrison, the All-American receiver from Syracuse, running a deep pattern. He had Antoine Winfield beaten and badly, but Manning, strong of arm, had too much on it.
Well, that's what Peyton Manning does best. It's his strength, his play-action pass. And when you've got Edger and James in the backfield, the defense absolutely pounces on him every time he even looks at him, and that's why Marvin Harrison was able to get deep down the field.
Marvin really got deep. He'd have been gone had Peyton Manning got him the ball, so it makes it 2nd down and 10. Handoff Edger and James, and the Bills come up and stick him as Brandon Spoon, starting middle linebacker, the rookie from North Carolina. He is the man who makes the first hit.
It's unusual to have a rookie. Obviously, with the injury to Sam Cowart, he's in there, but he's making the calls as well. And now you see there he's off the field, but when he's in there, it's a rare rookie who knows the entire defensive playbook, but Jerry Gray says this is the guy.
Yeah, Jerry Gray, the defensive coordinator, said he knows the whole defensive playbook. Bills jump but get back. Now watch Manning. He comes up. He's telling his blockers, look for this blitz. He absolutely orchestrates everything in the offense. Third down throw. He makes it to Dilger, who crashes ahead, but he's cut down by the Bills, and the ball's on the field, and the Bills say they've got it. And let's see if the official concurs. He does, as Kenyatta Wright appears to come up with the ball.
We spoke to Phil Hansen, the defensive end of the Bills, yesterday. He said, we have got to get some turnovers. They are too good offensively. We've got to make them make some mistakes. And here in the opening moments, 2 crucial mistakes by Indianapolis has given Buffalo an opportunity maybe to go up by 2 scores. It's a very late fumble by Dilger as he catches the ball on a little out and in route. Peyton Manning looks away. Look how he looks the other way, then comes back late to Dilger. And watch here late as the fumble pops out, came out right away, and is a good call.
First down and 10 Bills. Their first play from scrimmage on offense. Johnson throws, and he's off target as he tries to go to Eric Moulds. Rob Johnson trying to get the ball to his ace, Eric Moulds, who, as you know, Steve, was critical of the offense. He only got one completion last week to Moulds.
That's right. Out of the 27 attempts, we heard that Eric Moulds was the primary receiver on 19 of those attempts, but he just couldn't find him.
Johnson in his 6th year from Southern California, big, 6'5", 215 pounds. Can run well, can throw well, but he's got to avoid the sacks. Now he dumps it off. Ball is taken by the rookie running back Travis Henry, and he's quickly taken down for a gain of only a yard. As we look at the Buffalo Bills on offense, a lot of new people in the blocking front. Fina and Brown, the two veterans. Connolly, the new center. Hulsey and Jennings on the right side. Travis Henry, good young runner from Tennessee. Center's a great receiving fullback. Moulds and Price, the wideouts. Remirsma is the tight end. Greg Williams liking what he's seeing so far. He's a defensive specialist, as his team now has forced 2 Colt turnovers. 1 an interception, return for a touchdown. 3rd down. Johnson stands in. Blocking's better for the Bills, but his throw is not close as he goes to Remirsma. And the Bills send out their punt team. As we look now at the Indianapolis Colts on defense, they give a lot of yards up to the rush. Scioli, Williams, Johnson, and Bratsky across the front. Linebackers Harris, Morris, and Morton.
A much more talented and athletic core of linebackers this year, Don.
Yeah, they have more speed. They start with Burris and Macklin at the corner. They start a rookie at free safety, and Idris Bashir. Back there with him is a blitzer, Coda. Here's the punt, hit downfield by Moorman. Colts will let it hop inside the 10. Bills with very good special teams play. They'll down the ball at about the 5-yard line of Indianapolis. So a 3rd offensive set coming up for Peyton Manning. This time he has the long field to go. He'll start 1st and 10 at his 5.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the HP PhotoSmart digital camera. How will you use it? Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. And by Chrysler, drive equals love.
The Indianapolis Colts ready to go again for a 3rd time on offense. Their first 2 possessions resulting in turnovers. 1 the 47-yard interception return by rookie Nate Clements for the touchdown as the Bills lead at 7-0. Manning gets the snap just before the play clock ran out. Gets the ball over the middle and running hard out to the 19-yard line. Or close to a 1st down is Jerome Pathan. See the first 2 possessions. Jim Mora not expecting that. They were concerned about Buffalo. They said this is a wounded team. They know the Bills played absolutely brilliant defensive football in the first half against New Orleans. Held the Saints to 1 first down. And they fell apart in an 8-minute stretch of the 3rd quarter. Here's a handoff. Running hard with the ball and getting ahead for the first Colts first down of the game. With both arms on the ball is the great Edgerrin James. Log on to NFL.com for real-time scoring, up-to-the-minute stats, and live play-by-play. Only at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com.
In the passing game for the Colts, it's going to be continued importance for Peyton Manning to look the opposite way he intends to throw to get the safeties out of position. He's very good at it, but on the pick on the first series, he didn't do that, and it cost him.
Yeah, he really did. He locked right into his receiver, and Nate Clements read it all the way. Here's the handoff. Edgerrin James breaks it. He's ahead for yet another first down. One thing about beating the Colts here in Indianapolis, you better bring offense because they're going to score. 13-yard run on the play by Edgerrin James, and the pro scouting reports have him rated as maybe the only player in the NFL without a weakness.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you look at the guy and what he does everything. He pass protects, he blocks on blitz pickup, he stays in even if he's supposed to go out if he knows the protection's not right. The guy is extremely intelligent, and he uses that intelligence for the betterment of his team.
Last year, as you know, Steve, he ran the ball 387 times for Indianapolis. The rest of the team had 7 rushes. He is hit in the running game, 1,700 plus yards. Here's Manning making a throw, and it's broken up, but there is another penalty marker down near the line of scrimmage as Irvin was defending number 86, Jerome Pathan.
One of the things the Bills are doing, if Peyton Manning does not get rid of that football, he's going to get sacked. They've been able to get some hurries on him. They just haven't been able to get him on the ground. And as they continue to run the no
Offside,
huddle.
defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
One thing that's important, Don, as we watch them run this no huddle, if the Bills continue to run the front four, the defense in and out, they may get away from the no huddle later in the game.
Could be they'd like to force him out of it so the Bills can get their different defensive packages in. Second penalty, though, on the Bills here in the first quarter. First down and 5. Edgerrin James follows his blockers, but the Bills defense is up to it. As the tackle is made, coming over to make the stop is Keon Carpenter, the free safety. James last year with 1,703 yards rushing, number 1 in the NFL, and he caught 63 passes.
That was Rayon Hill comes up to make this play. Watch as this is one of the things they really need from their strong safety. Watch as he fights through the block of Pollard. That's an outstanding play by Hill. That's what you need your safeties to do against the Indianapolis Colts. Make Edgerrin James get negative yards, hold him to the line of scrimmage. You've got to get more people involved.
Second and 8. Throw and a catch. That's Pathan on the run. And he is taken down quickly by the sure tackling Antoine Winfield after a gain of 6 yards. But Pathan has been jump-started his performance, Steve, by the fact they drafted another wide receiver, number 1, Reggie Wayne.
That'll do it, too. If you're a wide receiver coming into a contract year and your team you're on drafts a number 1 wide receiver, that's a good motivational tool. And Pathan, you saw that last week. He caught 8 balls for 94 yards. That's as good a game as he has had as a professional. And Peyton Manning told us, he thinks the reason is they've got Reggie Wayne waiting in the wings.
And they'll see Reggie today. He'll play for the first time. He's been out with an ankle sprain. Manning 4 of 6 for 30 yards. 1 interception of Manning by Nate Clements. Run back 47 yards for a touchdown. Throw, open receiver. This is Dilger. As the Buffalo defense is totally out of position. A brilliant play by the Colts. And Dilger is down to the 10-yard line. What a masterpiece. 43 yards. 3rd and 1. And the Bills weren't even in the picture on defense.
Well, the Buffalo Bills forced Manning into a mistake early in this game. Now Manning forces the Buffalo Bills into a mistake. Finds Dilger sneaking out. Nobody picks him up, and that is a blown coverage. And Dilger goes down the sideline. It looked like he was going to make it, but Antoine Winfield comes back to get him.
He takes a shot here.
He does.
And Dilger, the very good tight end in his 7th year from Illinois. 253 pounds. He can stretch the field with his speed. Here's Manning now looking to get the equalizer. He looks, he throws, he makes a connection to Pathan. He's down to the 2-yard line. Ken Irvin saves the touchdown, but for the moment.
That was a protection completion. Peyton Manning had a lot of time to let that play develop. And when you're down inside the 10-yard line, that's crucial for an offense. If you're not going to run the ball, you've got to have a lot of time to throw it because there's no room for the receivers to get open. They need extra time.
They do give him good protection. Last year, the Bills gave up 59 sacks of their quarterback. Manning has been sacked 58 times over the last 3 years.
Over the course of the game, Manning's going to sting you once in a while. You've got to rebound as a defense, though.
Second down. Manning takes a look, makes a throw. Open man, but he overshoots Dilger. It'll be 3rd and goal. Kenyatta Wright, second-year linebacker, was running with the tight end on defense.
Yeah, Kenyatta Wright is sharing time with Brandon Spoon. In a perfect world, Brandon Spoon will take 1st and 2nd down. Kenyatta Wright will take the passing downs, and this is Jim Mora thinks he's got a touchdown. I'll tell you what, head coaches live and die with every single snap their team takes.
Jim Mora now in his 4th year as the head coach of the Colts, 15th year as a head coach. Was in New Orleans for many years. He engineered the biggest turnaround in NFL history. His first year at Indianapolis in '98, the Colts were 3-13. The next year, his 2nd year, they were 13-3. Handoff fake, and there's an open receiver. It's intercepted in the end zone.
Penalty flag as well in the back of the end zone.
Might be. Let's see who the call is.
May go against the Buffalo Bills.
I don't know. The Colts offense is coming off. I don't know if they didn't see the penalty flag.
I don't think they see the flag.
There is a penalty marker down in the end zone.
We have no signal from the
holding on the Bills, first down Colts. So Nate Clements, who almost had a second interception, but it's negated by the penalty call.
And that's the frustrating thing for a head coach.
26, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
You tend as a player to start to get a little bit panicked when the offense gets down into your end. You think maybe they're going to score, maybe this might be the play. They start to hang on a little bit. And I'm telling you what, Don, 2 weeks ago with replacement officials, that call is not made.
That's a good point. The replacement officials left the yellow in the pants. They didn't throw the flag a lot. And now, instead of an interception and a third turnover of the first quarter, it is instead a first down for the Colts. Edgerrin James trying the middle. Bills giving up yards grudgingly. No touchdown signal yet. They're waving in the linesman to say that he got over, but the Bills say no.
No signal yet. They could still pop out of there. You never know. Now the second down. But holding in the end zone is an absolute crusher for a defense. It's first and goal on the one. Watch, here's Edgerrin James. There's nothing frilly about this. Just get in there. The off guard pulls in. That's a touchdown. Yep. And I'll tell you what, Jim Mora may want to throw the flag on this. It doesn't look like they're going to.
No. Second down and goal from inches away. Edgerrin James, he's in. And the Colts are within an extra point of tying the game.
That's too good an offense to give them first and goal on the one and expect to hold them out. As good as they played in the first couple of series, now they've had a couple of problems on their defense, mental mistakes and some physical mistakes, and Peyton Manning and company make you pay.
Edgerrin James in his third game of his third year in the league, he's already scored 38 touchdowns in the NFL. Manning 4 of 5 for 67 yards in that drive.
Well, when the scouting report on a guy says he's got no visible weakness in his game, that says a lot in a game where you play with your body and your mind at the same time.
Good guy to get the ball to, and they do as Vanderjagt hits the point after, and Coach Morris sees him take it in, and now his Colts have tied the game. They'll kick off when we come back. Welcome back to Indianapolis. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker, Tom Moore, offensive coordinator, going over a game certainly worked on that drive. And plays 90 yards. Edgerrin James on the payoff end. He's in his 35th NFL game, and he scored 38 touchdowns so far in the regular season. Kickoff. Two rookies are back. Driver from Notre Dame and Nate Clements from Ohio State. This is Clements, who ran the interception back. Jerry Gray was saying that Clements is elusive enough to play as a running back, and this time he's cut down at the 20.
Yeah, he impersonated Edgerrin James during practice all week.
So the Bills send out their offense, which hasn't done much, but the defense has been terrific.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider. And by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
It's 7-7 at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, but from a yardage standpoint, it's been all Colts, as the Indianapolis Colts have already over 100 yards offense, and the Bills on offense have 1 yard. But they also have Nate Clements, who ran back an interception for a touchdown. Spread formation. Johnson hands off. Here is Travis Henry breaking tackles, and Henry crashes out to the 29-yard line and very close to a first down. He looks to have about 9 yards.
You know, we talked about that statistic we just saw. 1 total yard for the Bills, 101 for the Colts. That's also a testament of how turnovers can keep a team that's struggling in a ball game. Buffalo, if you look at the statistics of yardage, have no business being in this game at this point, and yet they're tied because of the turnovers and because of the quality play of their defense.
Their defense has certainly been quality, except for the one broken play where tight end Ken Dilger was running in an open field for a 43-yard gain that actually set up the tying touchdown. Here's a handoff, and Henry is taken on. One of the backers is coming up to make the hit on him is Mike Peterson, third-year player from Florida, who led the Colts with 158 tackles last year. Monday on CBS, it's an all-new night of premieres, beginning with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear, and Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond. Then don't miss a special premiere of The Ellen Show, followed by Monday's #1 drama, Family Law. It's all here Monday on CBS. First down and 10 after the carry. Johnson takes a look. Penalty markers down. Could be a blocking foul on the Bills for a hold as he tries to go to Travis Henry. Brad Cioli, third-year defensive end from Penn State, was putting the heat on.
Well, we definitely have the regular officials back. We've already called 2 holdings.
Face mask against the Bills. I guess they're grabbing the pass rusher.
But this has been a problem with Rob Johnson. His critics say he can't get rid of the football on that particular play. He was supposed to hold on to the football until the last moment. A screen pass out in the flat to Travis Henry just couldn't develop properly. The defense smelled it out.
I asked Jim Moore yesterday about Rob Johnson. He said everywhere you can measure a quarterback, he's got it. He says he's strong, he's fast, he's got an accurate arm.
Personal foul, face mask, 79, offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Reuben Brown, the Pro Bowler, gets called.
Right there at the right guard. You see him grab the face mask right there. But I'll tell you what, Don, if you come into Indianapolis and your offense struggles or takes a day off, you may as well forfeit the game because Peyton Manning and his crew are going to put some points on the board. I don't care how good your defense plays over 4 quarters.
They probably have to score 30 to have a chance to win here, because they are going to score. The Colts, they have one of the great offenses in the recent years in the NFL, along with the Rams. Johnson, they pick up the blitz. He throws downfield, and he's got Moles, and it's broken up. A tremendous play. As coming up was Thomas Smith, the former #1 draft choice of the Bills, and a teammate of yours, Steve. He was the #1 choice back in '93.
Thomas is a big cornerback who spent a year last year in Chicago. Watch here. He just falls off the flat route, looking at the quarterback, reading the play, and that was a problem Thomas Smith has had his entire career. He really has always had trouble catching the ball.
That's why he plays defense. Second down. Go up the middle, and there's not a whole lot going on there. The Colts middle backer is on the play. Rob Morris along with Peterson, who's a very, very fast player. Mike Peterson. Josh Williams also on the tackle. And there is Ellis Johnson, 62. Who is maybe the best Colt defensive lineman.
The Bills had the idea to come in here. They knew they had to play mistake-free football to give themselves a good chance to win this game because they know Indianapolis doesn't make mistakes. Now they're in 3rd and 19, and they've had 4 penalties for 26 yards. It's not the start this team needed to get off to, despite the fact they got 2 turnovers.
They're not aligning to blitz at this point. They're looking to come with a 3, maybe a 4-man rush. They're coming with a 3-man rush at Rob Johnson on 3rd and 21. He breaks out of the pocket. Johnson heads for the sidelines, and he's not close to a first down. Gained about 6, but he needed 21. Rob Johnson limping a little bit after he ran out of bounds.
And there was a lot of controversy in Buffalo over the offseason. There was a choice between Rob Johnson and Doug Flutie as quarterback. Here's the numbers, and the difference is the sack and TD interception. Doug Flutie has 5 bad plays. Rob Johnson has 55 bad plays, and that's why a lot of people were up in arms over his choice.
The backup quarterback is Alex Van Pelt. We'll see if Rob Johnson's all right to continue. He looked to be limping too badly as Mormon punts down to Wilkins, and here comes Wilkins from the 15. Oh, close to an illegal block.
Yeah, that looked like a definite illegal block. What, no call.
Now the couple players start up after the play, including Thomas Smith.
Late flags.
Little exercises his former team. Sometimes these are offsetting. It's just a waste of time.
It is a waste of time, but the officials still have to throw that flag because they have to make sure that everybody on the field knows they're in control.
It was a good punt, though, Steve, by Brian Mormon. He hit it 57 yards with no return.
This is after the play. Watch here. That's Lance Brown there working on the double team, and then you see him get the hands up into the face, start grabbing. Oh, man, I used to hate that as a player.
You were good at that.
Yeah. I didn't have as good a right cross as that, though.
Not great wisdom to be throwing punches at a face mask. Usually your hand breaks before the face mask.
Let alone when there's 2 guys standing there and you got to take both of them on. My policy in that case was to run the other direction.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 31 on the kicking team. Personal foul, number 21 on the receiving team. By rule, the penalties will offset. Receiving team will keep the ball. First down, timeout.
That is an exercise in the equality of the NFL.
Welcome back to the RCA Dome. High game 7-7. Manning looking to throw on first down. Gets Harrison on a crossing pattern. He's ahead for a first down. And a gain now of 16 yards up to the 40-yard line. Antoine Winfield brings him down, but does it 16 yards downfield as it looks like the Colts, Steve, are getting up to speed on offense.
Well, the Bills are in man-to-man coverage, and if you're going to do that, your corners have got to hold up. Nate Clemens comes in, tries to trip him up, had coverage. If you're playing off as a cornerback, the only thing that'll beat you is a short pass and a long run, and that's what Marvin Harrison did.
Last season, Manning threw 571 times for the Colts. No other quarterback threw a pass for them. That's another thing about him. He's always in the lineup. Pitch back. They get an open guy. Pathan's wide open. No Bill near him. And the Colts burn the Bills. And we'll see now if that's a knockout punch, if the Bills can rally back. A 60-yard touchdown play. You burn Manning, he'll get you.
We spoke a moment ago about how important it was to have a good running back. When you actually hand it to Edgerrin James, everybody's got to respect it. And if you have a safety involved in the run package, there's nobody left to stay deep. Jerome Pathan makes them pay.
Pathan, really interesting background. He was born in Cape Town, South Africa. Went to the University of Washington, did nothing early in his career. High draft choice, second rounder, but now he's really started to come out. 8 catches last week in an opening week. And now a 60-yard touchdown play as the Colts, after trailing 7-0, come roaring back with 14 quick points. Still in the first quarter, the Colts lead the Bills 14-7. Indianapolis kicks off again. Jerome Pathan, wide receiver on a flea flicker. Manning hits him, a 60-yard touchdown pass play. And the Colts kick off again. Hunter Smith moves the ball down to his former teammate, Tony Driver at Notre Dame. And Driver busts it out, a former All-American running back. And Tony Driver breaks it all the way down inside the 40-yard line. But wait, there's a penalty marker down, and the Colts say they were held. Hunter Smith made the tackle on Driver.
That's one way to say hello to an old teammate.
61-yard return, but is all coming back. Holding on the Bills.
Holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
You know, we spoke to Greg Williams yesterday, and he said we've got to win the field position battle to make them go 80 and 90 yards for scores. This is the touchdown. I'll tell you what, this is how you keep the safeties of the Buffalo Bills out of the run game. Now they can't attack. Look at that.
We've had 2 long pass plays, Steve, where the Bill defenders weren't even on the screen.
That's exactly right. It all comes down to how important Edgerrin James is to their offense.
158 yards passing for Manning. 8 of 11. He's got all the yards passing. Bills still with no offense. First down and 10 for Rob Johnson. Handoff. And the young runner Travis Henry's taken down after a gain of maybe a yard. Bill, the Patriots say that they feel the Colts' run defense is their real weakness. They've scouted them heavily. They'll be playing them soon.
Well, they gave up 4.8 per rush against the Jets. But you know, when your offense is playing the way the Colts offense is, your defense picks up its pace. They play inspired. And sometimes an inspired football team is better than a talented one.
Well, the Bills were inspired by the play of the rookie, Nate Clemens, who ran back an interception, 47 yards for the opening touchdown. But now still in the first quarter, Manning at this pace is headed for a 600-yard day throwing the ball. Unlikely he can keep it up. Here's Travis Henry with a big play, and he breaks it on a swing pass and gets ahead for a Bills first down on 2nd down and 9. He's ahead all the way out to the 37-yard line, an 18-yard gain. 19 yards they'll give him. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores, highlights, the latest NFL news, plus a CBS News update. America fights back.
That's one of the things about this Bills offense they've got to do. Just get the ball out of Rob Johnson's hands. They've got a lot of good people at their skill positions. They've got to get it to them.
Well, they have 3 skill position players, wideouts in there now. They're going to go to the run. Reuben Brown pulls nicely. And running with the ball is Larry Centers, who doesn't run much, mostly a pass catcher.
And this is one of the things the Buffalo Bills would love to do is just hang on to the football. They saw how effective Peyton Manning was on offense.
He's still
and
limping.
They've got to keep him off the field.
And that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Indianapolis Colts 14, the Buffalo Bills 7. We'll return to the RCA Dome right after this message. The game is back. The NFL renewed. Lots of number 18 jerseys here. I wonder if Peyton's got a concession on that. Second down and short. Handoff. Turning wide is Travis Henry. He is stuck hard short of the first down. Big hit put on is coming up was Mike Peterson, that outside linebacker, number 52, as you look at the first quarter number.
Yeah, they speak for themselves. Total yards 45 to 177. Look at the time of possession and the turnovers that really are the only thing that kept Buffalo in that first quarter. But you saw there is the run game of the Buffalo Bills is still a priority, and it's important that they stay that way. Travis Henry has got to stay involved in this offense so that Eric Moulds, Jay Remersma, and Peerless Price can catch their share of footballs later on.
Well, here's a short yardage play for the Bills. Johnson looks to throw. He needs just over a yard, and it's incomplete. And there's also, though, a penalty marker down in the secondary, and there could be a call against the Colts that would give the Bills a first down. Johnson gets up limping again. Looked like he turned an ankle on that running play.
Yeah, he's been limping ever since he ran out of bounds one series ago. Illegal hands to the face on the defensive secondary of the Colts.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, number 53, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Marcus Washington, outside linebacker.
Rob Johnson hanging in there. You know, the problem, a lot of people have said Rob Johnson is a fragile quarterback. He is a very tough guy. He takes a lot of hits, as you can see. The problem is he takes so many hits, he does break once in a while.
Well, you know, slow decision making. There's Van Pelt, the backup. Slow decision making leads to sacks, leads to injuries. He's not finished 8 of 19 starts in his career with the Bills. Remersma makes the catch, ahead for a gain of about 9. Down to the 42-yard line.
There's Rob Johnson's numbers from the first week of the season. 16 for 27. The 3 interceptions, that's not usual. He usually does not throw very many interceptions. Even when he has a bad day, he usually takes sacks. But in opening day, he took both interceptions and sacks.
Let's see what he does now on second down and a long 2. Comes the rush. Good throw by Johnson as he gets Larry Centers, who just made his, 690th career reception as a running back, all-time leader among runners.
You want to talk about a guy who's a huge pickup for the Buffalo Bills. It's that guy right there. You watch Larry Centers practice. He'll catch 25 balls in a Buffalo Bills practice. All of them will be one-handed, and he won't drop a single one. That's why he's been able to catch more passes as a running back than any player in NFL history. That's why he's so important to this offense.
690 career receptions. Reverse. Here comes Peerless Price with a wave of blockers in front. He could go. Price is inside the 5-yard line and down to the 3.
It was a great and timely play call by Mike Shepard. It was a great play by Rob Morris, the linebacker for the Colts. He ran this play all the way down. Watch, right there in the middle of your screen, you'll watch him move out to the left, gets blocked, and as Peerless Price comes around, Rob Moore chases him all the way down the field. Peerless Price does a good job of being patient. Look at Reuben Brown, Sheldon Jackson out there, and there he is. Rob Johnson, watch the block he lays out.
Now
Still throwing it around.
Bills take it in. This is a defense of the Colts that gives up a lot of yards to the rush. As you mentioned, 4.8 per carry to the Jets. They give up nothing here, but Travis Henry's not done. And Travis Henry takes it down to the goal line and scores. So the first tackler didn't wrap, and Travis Henry bounces outside and goes 4 yards for a touchdown. And the Bills are within an extra point of tying the game.
Well, you can see why it's easy to start a rookie in the NFL if he looks like that guy. Broke a couple of tackles, stayed on his feet, showed great patience and awareness to go back to the outside, and then had the speed to get to the corner. Watches the plays balled up, and this is a problem, and a lot of defensive coordinators pull their hair out. You can't tackle a running back around his shoulder pads. You've got to take his wheels out. Finally, Chad Cota runs him down but it's too late.
Now Jake Arians on the field to try the point after. And he ties the game as Travis Henry, rookie from Tennessee, a second-round draft choice, has his first NFL touchdown. He did it all by his lonesome. Travis Prentice, who just scored his first NFL touchdown on a 4-yard run where he was hit and stopped and bounced outside and took it in. See the Bills running well, a little bit misleading because most of the yards on the rushing came on that long run by Peerless Price.
But it also gives the Bills with the score an ability to keep on with their run game.
Ball hit downfield. Coming up, Terrence Wilkins. He broke a long return for a touchdown against the Jets on a punt return. This time he breaks the kickoff return out to the 39-yard line, a 28-yard return. Tonight on 60 Minutes, what is the Arab world saying about us? Are we the enemy? Or are they as frightened of terrorists as we are? Ed Bradley reports from the Middle East. That's tonight on 60 Minutes. 39-yard line is the starting point for this drive for Manning and the Colts. High game, 14-all. Bills led early in the game. Manning threw an out pattern that was run back on an interception by Nate Clemens for 47 yards and a touchdown.
You see there, he'll call a play and then call a snap count and then start all over again as the defense is ready to snap the ball.
Quick drop. Manning throws. Beautifully played ball as the receiver comes back at it as Pathan really emerging into a star player. That was a 21-yard gain, and he was well covered.
That's so disheartening for a defense. Kenny Irvin on the coverage. A stop pattern where the receiver's actually going on a deep route. Peyton Manning throws it behind him, and the receiver has to adjust to it just as the defensive back does. But because he's ready for it, he's able to do it.
Colts setting up now just inside the Bills' 40-yard line. It looks like confusion, but it's all orchestrated. Manning says, you want to know what comfort is? It's knowing that whatever I call at the line of scrimmage, every one of my guys knows exactly what we're doing. Long ball. He's got a guy. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marvin Harrison burns the Bills for a 39-yarder. In a game of can you top this? We're going for bonus today.
I'll tell you what, Peyton Manning and this offense are so well schooled right now. I don't think there's a defense in the National Football League that can stay with him. Watch the top of your screen. Harrison just runs around. Antoine Winfield, he's got no chance, and that's one of the things, that was man coverage off. That's why Antoine Winfield's eyes were on the receiver rather than on Peyton Manning. When you're off, you can't touch the receiver as he runs by. You have to turn and run, and Antoine Winfield just waited too long.
Vanderjagt on the field now, looking to give the Colts another 7-point lead, which he does. And so in this high-scoring game with 11:19 to go in the first half, the Colts have now built a 21-14 lead. Moments after the Bills had tied the game. Look at that. Great one from Syracuse, Marvin Harrison.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices. And by the all-new 200 horsepower Acura RSX Type S.
We're back in the great state of Indiana, in the capital city, Indianapolis, where the Colts have gone out front 21-14. Manning having an active day. 10 of 13
for 219 yards, 2 TDs and interception. Good news and bad news for the Bills. They picked him off early. Bad news, they made him mad.
Here's Tony Driver, who had the 60-yard kickoff return that was called back. And now he gets it out to the 30 on a short kickoff. Let's watch.
Here's what the Colts were looking at on offense. Peyton Manning comes back, and when your best wide receiver beats your opponent's best cornerback, your opponent has a tough matchup problem. That's exactly what happened here. Now the Bills are going to have to do some different things with their technique. They can't play that and expect to win against Marvin Harrison.
Beat Antoine Winfield, the third-year corner from Ohio State. Now Rob Johnson faced with bringing his team from behind again. Defense gave the Bills an early 7-0 lead. Now it's 21-14 Colts as the handoff into the line, and not much going on there. Henry tries the middle of the Colts defense as we look at a quarterback comparison.
Rob Johnson not limping quite so much now. 4 of 7, 3 of 3 on the last drive, however. But Peyton Manning, I mean, the preparation and the guys and the well-schooled offense that he runs is just evident in everything that they do.
Well, one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in a warm-up was Manning working out today for a half hour with Edgerrin James and Marvin Harrison. They never once exchanged a word. Not a word was said. Every single pass pattern was perfect. Never a ball dropped. They do it before every game. Rob Johnson gets some time. He throws an out pattern, poorly advised, as his receiver is stuck right away. Jeremy McDaniel may have lost a yard on the play as a young corner from Penn State, David Macklin, got a clean shot at him, 27.
Macklin coming into the league. And it's tough to start at cornerback in the National Football League, let alone right out of college. But this is a defense that needed a lot of help. They addressed it in the offseason. They made themselves more athletic. They put more speed in the backfield and in the linebacking core to chase guys down, and I think they're seeing some results of that.
They are. The corners on the Colts, one of them is a former Bill, Jeff Burris, and Macklin, are very good cover players, but they're not real fast. Somebody like Moulds can get him deep unless he gets help. Moulds running a deep pattern now. Rob Johnson looks at him, fires to Moulds, intercepted. Here come the Colts back with the ball as Chad Cota picks it off and takes it down to the 41-yard line. So he did indeed go to Moulds, but the ball caroms off him, and Chad Cota makes the pick. 12-yard return.
And Rob Johnson made a pretty good throw. You'd think Eric Moulds would bring this pass down. This ball's well thrown, a little wobbly. Came out of his hand wrong, and a lot of times that's difficult for a receiver to catch, especially with a guy hanging on him. But you know, those are the kind of plays that you've got to pull down, and you expect Eric Moulds to make that catch.
Chad Cota, of course, the man who runs the Indianapolis Colts, Bill Polian, the former executive with the Bills, 5-time NFL Executive of the Year. He brought Chad Cota over. He was with Bill Polian when Bill was with the Carolina Panthers. First down and 10. Edgerrin James, who's gotten very little yardage running the ball today against the Bills defense, gets ahead for maybe 3. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS brings out doubleheader action. First, Jay Fiedler leads the Dolphins against Kurt Warner and the St. Louis Rams, while the Chiefs take on the Redskins. And in the late game, AFC super teams collide when Ray Lewis and the Super Bowl champion Ravens visit Brian Griese and the Broncos. Check local listings for these and other games, beginning with Jim, Randy, Mike, Jerry, Leslie, and Marcus on the NFL Today. Long ball, open man, touchdown Colts. Marvin Harrison shooting ducks in a pond at close range. For the Colts, a show of force. For the Bills, a defensive embarrassment.
Right now, the defensive backfield for the Buffalo Bills is walking around. Nobody's talking to anybody. They're disgusted with themselves. This play, Marvin Harrison just runs right down the middle of the field and turns Keon Carpenter around. The one place in the defense where the Buffalo Bills don't have much experience is the strong safety and the safety position. Keon Carpenter, a one-year starter. Rayon Hill, his first year as a starter.
Extra point hit up and good by Vanderjack. So the Colts, with 9:11 still to play in the first half, lead the Bills 28-14. The Bills' worst nightmare. Now they have to start throwing the ball virtually every down. Peyton Manning building his numbers now, Steve. 11 of 14 for 258 yards. Look at 3 touchdowns in his last 4 attempts.
And you get the distinct impression, Don, as we watch this game, that he's not done yet. And now Rob Johnson has to chase him.
He's going to go for bonus today. He's going to go for 100 if he can get it. Like you said, when he got burned early, he's going to be coming back. Here's the short kickoff as Tony Driver runs it back again, turns the corner, and Driver, with a Kentucky sprint champion in high school, is hit. Bills thought he got hit out of bounds and looked very close. Hunter Smith hit him, his former teammate at Notre Dame.
You know,
Hunter Smith, the Colts punter, he was a
Hunter Smith is a good athlete.
Great high school quarterback in Texas. 23-yard return.
Obviously not afraid of a little contact either. That picks a team up, even though they did give up a very solid return. And now Rob Johnson has to gather himself after throwing the last interception, even though it was tipped by his own receiver. It's got to weigh on him heavily.
They're doubling up on Moulds, who's to the lower portion of your screen, coming off the right flank. Here's a throw over the middle. Connections made. There he centers, makes the catch, and Rob Morris, the middle linebacker, gets him down as the Bills, a very unhappy group right now. They're getting burned down 28-14 after they led 7-0 and then came back after trailing 14-7 to tie at 14-all.
And I'll tell you, it's frustrating on all sides of the ball if you're the Buffalo Bills. They have to sit there and watch Peyton Manning methodically go out and put points on the board, and then you see their offense come out, have to dink it, throw short passes, stay with the run game to try and keep him off the field as well as score points.
I was saying to Tom Moore, their offensive coordinator, watching the workout of Manning and his running back Edgerrin James, his receiver Harrison, I said, these guys are going to wear themselves out. He said, you can't get them off the field. They were the only ones out there doing it. I didn't see any Bills warming up at that point. Here's a throw to the near sideline, and Eric Moulds takes it and goes out of bounds, and he gets a first down. Tonight, after 60 minutes, Academy Award winner Richard Dreyfuss comes to CBS in his first television series. Don't miss The Education of Max Bickford. It premieres tonight after 60 minutes here on CBS.
One of the things about these two teams you'll notice when you watch the Colts practice, everything starts with Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, and Marvin Harrison, the three best players. Well, the Bills lost one of their best players last opening day, and Sam Cowart. They're still searching to find out who's going to lead them and who's going to say how it's going to be.
Great player, Sam Cowart. Unlikely he'll play again this season, a Pro Bowl linebacker. And the Bills said they were faced with a situation where they were going to have a rookie calling defensive signals.
That's exactly right. On offense, you've got to have guys on offense who are willing to go the extra mile. I mean, we watched the Peyton Manning and the big three for Indianapolis come out. A lot of times you'll see a quarterback come out with the third or fourth or fifth wide receiver and throw some stuff, but these are the three best players on the team going out and going the extra mile. That permeates the entire organization.
Yeah, they set the pace. The work ethic here is a 2nd and 7. Throwing is an open man, but a poorly thrown ball came in too high to a wide open receiver. Peerless Price makes a nice catch, but he did it out of bounds. As Idris Bashir, the rookie free safety number 28, was trying to cover him.
And Chad Brasky's down on that play and remained down. You'll watch here, there's no chance. Peerless Price brings it in, but you'll see he comes down. He's got to get both feet in.
It's no
One
feet in.
kind of gets in, no way. Not even close. Good call by the officials as Chad Brasky right in the middle of the football field.
Chad Brasky's playing with an injury. There was some question whether or not he's had some rib problems. He's a pass rusher, former Giant, who's made himself into a good run defender.
He had 7.5 sacks last year, and that's kind of the thing that the Colts needed defensively. They play a lot of zone in their secondary because they have struggled in a pass rush. Chad Brasky, a guy that they'd like more production out of along with others up there, but until they get somebody that can sack the quarterback consistently, the Colts are going to continue to be hamstrung defensively.
There's no question on occasion here, Steve. Rob Johnson's had some wide open guys. He's just he's still limping.
Now he looked like he shook it off, but he took a hit after that last play, and I think it's one of those things where as long as he plays, it's going to keep getting bumped. It's probably not serious, and he's going to keep playing, but there's Alex Van Pelt, who has never had the opportunity really to start for an extended period in the National Football League, but has always performed well whenever he's been called upon.
You said he's a good guy in the huddle. He's had a lot of command.
That guy is a leader. He was born to be a leader, born to be a quarterback, and if he had an arm and some wheels, he would be playing a lot more. But here's the last moments of that play you see there, and that's no good. You don't like to see that in your quarterback as a defensive lineman and your offensive lineman roll over the top of your quarterback.
Brasky coming off. Well, Alex Van Pelt getting back to him last year on opening day. Bills fans may remember he came off the bench to lead the Bills over Tennessee. So tough and durable, poised versus the rush. The scouting report on him will stand in, and he reads defenses very well. But as you pointed out, Steve, lacks mobility, and he's not very tall. They list him at 6'1", and he might be. They're down. They need 7. Rob Johnson throws a screen pass. Nicely done. On the run is Sammy Morris. And he breaks ahead inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. An 11-yard gain and a first down for the Bills. Bashir finally gets him down, the free safety.
Excellent play call. This is a guy that played a lot as a rookie last year in the times when they were running back by committee. Sammy Morris really proved himself worthy to play in this National Football League. Now, he's been outshone by Travis Henry early this year, but he does a lot of things well. You just saw it. He catches the ball well and is a good broken field runner.
Gets ahead for that. Good gain and a first down. Makes it 1st and 10. Rob Johnson stands in there, giving him protection. Throwing on the run. He gets Eric Moulds, who turns upfield. And Moulds, who will not go out of bounds, he takes on tacklers. And he drives ahead for a gain of 10 yards on the play, so the Bills come right back down the field.
And that's a perfect example of what Eric Moulds is all about. He'll catch this ball and turn up the field. Eric plays with a big attitude. He's a tough, physical runner once he gets the ball. That's why they'll give him that. I'll tell you, he didn't back down from that linebacker. That's Mike Peterson there, and Eric Moulds delivered the blow.
Game's like a highlight reel. 28-14 with 6:21 still to go in the first half.
We got some players on the field today, Don, especially on the offensive side of the ball for both these clubs. They're just short of the first down. Marvin Harrison for the Colts and Eric Moulds for the Bills. Wide receiver is the toughest position in the league to get to the Pro Bowl. And these two guys are there every year. They are elite players in the National Football League because they can do a lot of things, and their clubs use them. And it's really fun. You've seen Marvin Harrison catch a couple of touchdowns already. Eric Moulds deliver a blow on Mike Peterson. You know, these are two elite players, and for good reason.
Well, they're having big days, particularly Marvin Harrison. 2 touchdown catches already. Not big, 6 feet, 181 pounds. Last year he caught 102 passes. He tied for first in the NFL. 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns. Second down, less than a yard. High back is Henry. He gets the ball. Markers thrown, and a procedure call against the Bills will make it 2nd down and 5.
They went from having an absolutely for sure first down. Now there's a question mark as Rob Johnson continues to limp.
Prior to the snap, false start. Right guard, number 71. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Corey Hulsey, big number 76. A little bit of a hitch in his move there. As you can see, Corey Hulsey, number 71.
Right in front, right here. You'll see it. There it is. It's just barely ahead of the snap count.
Now the play call changes, though. They're going to throw it on 2nd down and 5. Back to Travis Henry. He takes some hard licks. Travis Henry still works ahead after the first contact. And he is knocked down by the middle of the defense.
You see Rob Johnson limping around, has taken some shots today. This is the under pressure. Manning has not been sacked, been hurried once. Rob Johnson's been hurried 4 times, but been knocked down twice.
Does he want to be out there?
He does want to be out there. There's no question about it. He wants to be out there, or he'd be off the field right now. I don't think his ankle is bothering him, although he's limping. In a right-handed quarterback and having a right ankle injury or right leg injury, he has to plant on that leg to throw, and I think that may be a concern.
Jonas Jennings being attended to. Well, every opponent extols the toughness of Rob Johnson, but sometimes, not knowing what his injury is, look to be an ankle. Sometimes you can't go if it's bothering you too much.
Exactly right. These are the career games. 29 games for Rob Johnson. Has been sacked 89 times. And look at the difference between Peyton Manning. Now, Peyton Manning's a guy who takes every snap for his ball club. And you can tell, priority number 1 for the Indianapolis Colts is to protect number 18.
Been sacked 57 times over the last 3 years.
And that was after a rookie season.
None this year.
That was after a rookie season when he took every snap, and they were 3-13.
Yeah. Well, their number 1 priority in putting their game plan together above everything else is pass blocking. Taking care of Manning because they feel he's the franchise.
We just got a word from the sidelines of the Buffalo Bills that Rob Johnson's hip is bothering him.
His hip is bothering him.
So they got a hip pointer.
That's a tough one.
It is. That hurts. It's very painful. It's not serious at all, but it is painful. I've had those, and it's
not serious if somebody else has.
Yeah, it's not serious because it's him, not me.
Like major and minor surgery. It's minor for somebody else.
That's exactly right.
3rd down and 3. The hip problem, that's going to limit his mobility. And now we had the Colts leaving early, but were they drawn offside?
Yeah, Jay Reimers had a false start.
False start, 85, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
This is the kind of thing that wears on a team as badly as anything. They had 2nd and inches, then they had 3rd and 5. Now they've got 3rd and 7. 3rd and 8. I mean, they're just doing it to themselves. The Bills have been penalized 6 times for 36 yards. The Colts 2 for 15.
So now let's see, Steve, what goes on here on 3rd down and 8. Rob Johnson with an ailing hip. He's going to have to set up to throw. Quick drop. Stands in. Hip isn't bad on here as Rob Johnson sprints to the outside, but he's cut down way short of the 1st down. And where the ball is positioned will be a 47-yard field goal attempt. Jeff Burris, the former Bill, brings him down, number 20. Only limps when he's not running. He can still run.
He can still run. You can tell that's when the adrenaline takes over. Look there, it's a quick release. Has a guy in his face, just pulls it down. And I think Rob Johnson should do more of this. He's a good runner with the football. Unfortunately, he stands in the pocket wanting to make the big play instead of taking a few yards positive less than he actually should.
And now young Jake Arians will try a 48-yard field goal. Jake out of Alabama Birmingham was activated the night before the opening game 2 weeks ago against New Orleans and made 2 of 2 field goals. We'll be back to the Colts in a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original. And by IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level.
This is Don Criqui with Steve Tasker back at the RCA Dome as Rob Johnson on the sideline with an ailing hip. Took a shot on the hip. He's been in the whole way at quarterback.
Talking there to Steve Cragthorpe, the quarterback's coach.
Now the long field goal attempt. Reamers Maholes. Rookie Dan O'Leary snaps. And Jake Arians, a rookie, will try a 48-yard field goal. It would bring the Bills back to within 10 if he makes it. Snap and set down are good. He's got plenty into it. And it's good. So Jake Arians is 3 for 3 as a Buffalo Bill, replacing the great kicker Steve Christie, who couldn't go opening week with a groin pull, and apparently he's not going to be back with the Bills. Steve?
No, he's injured and waiting to get healthy, so the Bills actually can probably cut him outright.
Thank you very much for your years of service.
That's exactly right. Williams Rexon knows they needed it. They've got to keep pace somehow, some way, make sure they keep getting points on the board, and hopefully their defense. You see there a young Jake Arians. There's a guy that wants to keep his job. The thing they say about him, they noticed immediately. He's only been around a couple of weeks. This guy's confident.
So that as a show of patriotism continues, a tremendous show of force. There must have been 300 Indianapolis state and local police officers march out of the field before the game to a standing salute, and then hundreds more firefighters came out,
and they were very, very warmly greeted by the crowd here in the RCA Dome.
United we stand. They talked about the terror bombings bringing New York to its knees, but not in defeat, in prayer. And now the comeback has begun as the NFL season is renewed again. Here is Moorman to kick off for the Bills. Wilkins from the goal line. And he's out to the 20-yard line, and there the Colts go on offense, 1st down and 10. You can help America fight back by supporting the disaster relief effort and helping the families of the victims. Give to the September 11th Fund. Call 1-800-710-8002. 1-800-710-8002.
You know, Don, as we sit here in the stadium, it's one of the few stadiums where the home team is blue, the visiting team is red and white.
Yeah.
The stadium is absolutely awash in the patriotic colors of the country. It's been a really special day here in Indianapolis.
Capital city of Indiana. Watching an offensive, really showcase performance as now the ball is to Edgerrin James, and he deftly steps out of bounds, but he gets a 1st down.
You want to see how effective this offense has been. Look at the last 4 possessions. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. I mean, that is disheartening. You see here this little quick screen they just ran. Edgerrin James made the defense just look bad.
1st down and 10. Manning changing things around, making sure all the blocking patterns are set as he looks at the Bills defense. Timing throw, makes a connection. Real good player here. Marcus Pollard, a tight end from Bradley who never played college football. He was a basketball player for the Bradley Braves. Tuesday on CBS, when a hotshot corporate attorney gets into trouble with the law, his punishment is defending the most helpless clients, whether he likes it or not. Don't miss The Guardian, premiering Tuesday on CBS. 2nd down and 2, handoff to Edgerrin James, and he breaks it for not very much as the Bills come calling. Sean Price, 91, brings him down.
It was a rare opportunity for Edgerrin James where he actually lost yardage.
Peyton Manning's career high, Steve, for a passing in a game is 440 yards. He ripped Jacksonville for that last September. He's got 258 today in the first half.
You know, I'll tell you what, Don, you cannot say enough about Peyton Manning and what he's meant to this organization since they drafted him.
He's been a great one. He's heading to Canton, and ironically, the player they thought about drafting, Ryan Leaf's already out of football. Another quarterback. Edgerrin James on 3rd down. Very smartly gets out of bounds. 9-yard gain. It's amazing to watch these guys work, though. Manning and the receivers, never a word spoken.
Edgerrin James means a little bit to the organization as well. Watch here as he comes out, and this is just, you know, it's a good job by Kenyatta Wright, keeping him hemmed in. You don't have to go make the big hit. Just try and keep from getting pushed away by a good stiff arm. Edgerrin James is just so dangerous, and they use him every way they possibly can.
Manning's completed his last 7 passes. 1st down and 10. Did they take too long? You'd think he's going to every time with all the conversation at the line of scrimmage.
I think there might have been. That was a 2-minute warning. They caught us.
2-minute warning is
concentrating on the play and missed the 2-minute warning.
So the Colts lead it by 11. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights and the latest NFL news, plus a CBS News update. America fights back. There's Tom Moore, who was with the Steelers for 2 of their Super Bowl championship teams as a coach, the offensive coordinator, one of the best. Man who says that Chuck Noll used to say before the start of every game, let the second guessing begin. To Tom Moore. Here is a handoff to Edgerrin James. He finally breaks his first good run of the day. It's a 14-yarder. And that gives a 1st down to the Colts inside the Bills' 40.
Interestingly enough, the Colts are going to continue to run the football inside the 2-minute mark. They must feel confident that they can run the clock out and not give the Bills a chance.
Now they're throwing a catch. Marvin Harrison gets his head down and dives to the 30-yard line, a gain of 8. Marvin Harrison's having a big day. Harrison today has caught now, how many? 4 passes for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hand off to James. Look at him dance and move and take it inside the 25-yard line. Yet another 1st down as the clock continues to tick down. Manning huddling his team at their leisure. Now they call a timeout.
One of the things about Edgerrin James is they hand him the ball in this 2-minute drill. You've got to think the play action pass is going to come at some moment from Peyton Manning. You talked about Tom Moore. He said one of the things Peyton does so well is handle the ball and convince the play action fake.
Yeah, they say he's a great ball handler, Peyton Manning, great play faker. Saturday, the SEC action moves into the Swamp in Gainesville when Wayne Matkins sparks the Mississippi State Bulldogs against Rex Grossman and the Florida Gators. It all begins with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman on Papa John's College Football Today. For more college football news, go to cbs.sportsline.com. AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. There they are.
There are the guys waiting for us.
Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman.
There's Reggie Wayne, the 1st-round draft pick of the Colts, who's seeing his first live action as a pro today. And well, if he stands over on the sidelines, he's going to take some lessons on how to do it in the NFL from the guys on his team.
He's not getting Marvin Harrison's job.
Not for a while.
1st down and 10. 1:14 to go in the half, as you see, as Manning takes a look. Long ball. Oh, look at that throw. That's absolutely a masterpiece of offensive football. Absolute masterpiece. Right away, Manning's not even looking at the results. He's looking to see, do we call a timeout?
Call a timeout, and they got They stopped the clock with 59 seconds on the game clock. And, you know, that we talked to some of the defenders for Buffalo yesterday, Phil Hansen in particular. And it was interesting what he said about Peyton Manning. The guy's got a PhD in offense, and that's a very apt description.
PhD in offense, that's right.
He really is.
9 straight completions now for Peyton Manning, who's completed 16 of 19 throws today for 317 yards and 3 touchdowns.
You know, you'd like to compare him to some of the guys in the league, but he really sets a different standard than anybody else who's come into the league. You can look back over the years and say Dan Marino took his team to the Super Bowl. And Peyton Manning is a different type of quarterback. He runs the no huddle very well. I was involved with a team in Buffalo that ran the no huddle. Peyton Manning runs it in a way that they didn't run it in Buffalo. He runs it a little better. He's got the best attributes of Jim Kelly, who ran it, and Frank Reich. He's got total recall, as Tom Moore told us yesterday. He remembers plays from 2 months ago in practice and doesn't make the same mistake he did then because he remembers. He's an amazing player.
He is putting up numbers today after that early disappointment when he threw the interception. A terrific play by the rookie Nate Clements of Buffalo, who ran it back for a touchdown in a 7-0 Bills lead. Now with 1:03 left to play, a marker's thrown, and the Bills are pointing at the Colts. Big Phil Hansen, he said, we talked to him yesterday, everything's brand new. Brand new offense, brand new defense, brand new players.
Number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, there's a lot to be said about that. Yeah, they've got a lot of new players, but I think the thing that makes a team struggle when you make changes more than anything is a new coaching staff and a new system. Every team in the league gets a lot of new players every year, but a new head coach with a new philosophy, a new front office, added with new players, new systems. I mean, it's going to take some time in Buffalo.
Talking to Tom Donahoe before the game, he said there's going to be growing pains.
They're feeling them today.
They're going to be good. Play fake. Manning looks. Open receiver. Touchdown. Marvin Harrison. Number 3 for Harrison today. 4th touchdown pass of the day for Manning. And the numbers build. We're not at halftime, and it's 34-17 Colts with the extra point try coming up.
Now you ask yourself, what can you be thinking? You see there, right there is the reason Jay Foreman bit on the play fake and just left Marvin Harrison alone. And it's a matchup problem down close where you have a linebacker on Marvin Harrison because you're afraid of the run game, and that's how potent this offense is. There's just too much to worry about.
Extra point is hit up and good, and with a minute to go in the half, the Colts now extend their lead to 35-17. Vanderjack with the point after, a Canadian Football League standout, played collegiately at West Virginia, a long-range bomber. He can hit field goals from as far out as you need him. Wednesday on CBS, catch the show that critics are calling sensational. Takes Survivor off the island and onto the road. The Amazing Race continues with an all-new episode. That's Wednesday on CBS. Good way to go in a Ferrari.
Yeah, that gets you around. Here, Marvin Harrison, you see there, you know that the Colts did something interesting this year as well in their backup quarterback situation. You see there is Peyton Manning talking there to the guy just over his shoulder. That's Mark Rippon.
Out of football 3 years. You remember Mark.
Yeah, with some consternation I remember him. Was MVP of Super Bowl 26 with the Washington Redskins, and that's exactly the kind of guy you want behind a guy like Peyton Manning. Experienced and a good locker room guy.
Let's listen to a touchdown, how it sounds. After the kickoff, you'll hear the ball hit the soft hands of Marvin Harrison for his 3rd touchdown reception of the day. 35th time he's connected with Peyton Manning for a touchdown throw. Hunter Smith booms a kick down, and here comes Nate Clements, who's been in the end zone once today on the interception return. And Nate Clements takes it out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Now let's listen to some natural sound on a touchdown play.
Little pop, little catch, a little hug in the end zone when you do.
Marvin Harrison's turning the Bills defense inside out.
You know, you get the feeling Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, you know, they live in the same house. I mean, they spend so much time together. each knows what the other is doing, and that's a
figure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's such a level of communication between the two. It shows on the field.
Peyton got himself a lovely wife in the offseason, Ashley. Here's Johnson throwing to an open receiver on the run is Jeremy McDaniel, and he's out of bounds at the 41-yard line with still 49 seconds to play. You like touchdowns, this is the place to be. 14-yard gain.
One of the things that's happened to the Buffalo Bills, they've had some problems on their offensive line. Jonas Jennings is out of the game, and Chris Ferris is in, the 6'8", 322-pounder, trying to protect that guy, Rob Johnson, who's 10 of 15 for 85 yards.
We talked, Steve, about you need 30 points coming in here if you're the opposition to have a chance to beat the Colts. Well, today you might need 50 or 60 points. Here's a blitz. Johnson bounces off it, moving on the run, and he loses the ball and is knocked out of bounds. Jeff Burris is the guy who hits him with 41 seconds left.
Jeff Burris is going to come in from the left of the screen, or the right of the screen, excuse me, right there, just misses him, and that's a quarterback. He knew he was coming, had no place to go, and just knew that he had to dodge him somehow, some way. He sees that guy coming, believe me. He just hoped that one of his guys would come open so we could get it loose, and then he does the right thing and just gets rid of it.
Ellis Johnson coming across the field quickly.
Former Buffalo Bill there, Jeff Burris.
He was the #1 draft choice of the Bills. Johnson on 2nd and 10. Here comes the rush. He eludes it. Johnson on the run. And Johnson's not done. As a penalty marker is thrown, he turns the corner, and he takes it down to the 36-yard line. A 24-yard gain if the play goes.
This is probably going to come back somehow, holding against the Bills on the run. Now Rob Johnson, you see, he's starting to tighten up. Sometimes when you get a hip injury, if that's indeed what's still bothering him, it gets worse as the game, and he's been sitting on the bench for a while.
85, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So a good effort by the injured Rob Johnson is now negated by the holding call.
But it is a spot foul, so it won't be 2nd and 9 again. It will be 2nd, and it looks like about 2. You see there, Rob Johnson's getting, I think, worse as this half progresses.
Still 30 seconds left in this game. There's time for 2 touchdowns.
It certainly is. Now Rob Johnson takes the timeout.
Alex Van Pelt waiting on the sideline.
Alex must know something, as he's not even warming up, so he knows that Rob Johnson is not going to come out of this game. Here's the play. Right at the end of it, you'll see him get just nicked up right there. That's David Macklin right there tripping him up, and he comes up. This doesn't look like a devastating hit, but you get tangled up.
That was a pretty good hit.
Yeah, you go down hard, believe me. It never feels good.
You delivered more of those than you got, but
yeah, thank goodness for that.
Still pretty close to your playing weight too, which is good.
That's right.
Well, you ate a half a cheesecake the other night.
Well, I don't fight the weight like I used to. I don't fight it very hard.
So.
Yeah. It's Greg Williams now. 30 seconds left. This is a coach that does not hold anything back at halftime. He's going to let his team know exactly how he feels. He's not Mr. Feel Good.
2nd down and 2. Johnson, good time. Nice throw as he connects with McDaniel, and he's down to the 31-yard line with 23 seconds left. A 19-yard gain. The Bills quickly aligning. See the clock, down to 13 seconds, and they quickly down the ball to make it 2nd down and 10 with 3 shots at the end zone.
They want to do that because they want to save their timeout in case they do have to settle for a field goal. Right now they've got 2nd and 10 on the 32. They're going to take a couple of shots at the end zone, maybe to get a 1st down. At 13 seconds, they can still get 1 first down, take 1 shot at the end zone before kicking the field goal if they can keep that timeout.
Ball position to the 32-yard line. Wide receivers go out. Wide to the left is Avion Black. Molds. Right to Watts. They try to hide him. They move him all over the field. Johnson takes a look. He's on the run. The bad hip is taken to the turf on a sliding stop. And they will call a timeout. And down 35-17, do you go to look and make it 35-20? Or
yeah, I think you take the field goal. You got to take the points at this point. You're going to get one play for a touchdown, and they know it. So take the 3 points. You've got a full half. You're down by 2 touchdowns plus 1 2-point conversion.
Can they do anything for him at halftime to make him feel better?
Yeah. Yeah, it would take it. If it's a hip pointer, the common practice is to give it a shot. And because it's not a structural problem, they don't worry about him getting hurt worse. It's only a bruise. It's a bruise. There's no structural damage if it's a hip pointer of that nature. But, you know, we're speculating as to how serious it is at this point.
Hip pointer being a bruise on the crest of the ilium where there's very little blood flow, and it's a long time healing.
Let me tell you, it hurts bad, and it gets worse as the time gets away from it.
Field goal try, hit up and wide, and so a 37-yard try is the first miss of his young pro career for Jake Arians. That's the end of the first half of the score. The Colts 35, the Bills 17. Coming up next is the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
This is a CBS News update. America fights back. John Roberts reporting. Good day. 12 days later, the search goes on at the World Trade Center, where more than 6,000 people are still listed as missing. At Camp David today, President and Mrs. Bush looked on as the U.S. flag was raised back to full staff, marking the end of the official period of mourning. From Afghanistan today, a claim by the Taliban that prime terrorist suspect Osama bin Laden is missing. On the CBS News broadcast Face the Nation, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld dismissed the Afghani claim.
They have networks throughout the country, and it is just not believable that the Taliban do not know where the network can be located and found and either turned over or expelled.
In other headlines, Secretary of State Colin Powell says the U.S. soon will document bin Laden's connection to the terrorist attacks. President Bush is about to issue executive orders that will name suspected terrorists and freeze their financial assets. Overseas, a top Saudi official reportedly has questioned American use of military bases there. Secretary Powell says the Saudis are cooperating. And at stadiums across the country, remembrances of the victims as pro football return to action. Stay with CBS News and the CBS station for the latest developments in the attacks and their aftermath. This has been a CBS News update. America fights back. John Roberts reporting. Good day.
3 Academy Award winners in one unforgettable night of television. First, Richard Dreyfuss and Marcia Gay Harden in the most anticipated new show of the season, The Education of Max Bickford.
All I'm trying to offer you is a way to approach the world with a critical eye.
Then, legendary screen actor Sidney Poitier returns to CBS.
How are you going to fire all that brick?
One brick at a time.
The Last Brickmaker in America, following the series premiere of The Education of Max Bickford. CBS tonight.
God bless America on 3. 1, 2, 3. God bless America.
Some cookies. There's some bananas.
These are the men of the NFL.
Her friend Julia lived across the street.
They know what it takes to help the United Way build stronger communities.
On the snap of the ball, quarterback, I want you to...
Leadership. Hard work.
Based on traditional thinking,
dedication.
He's considered a surrealist. Okay, guys, when you pull
patience.
The victim out of the water, remember,
and of course,
airway, support his head.
Commitment.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel. Get right through.
And hello, friends. Good to have you with us here on the Nextel Halftime Report. Jim Nance from our New York studios with my teammates Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, and Jerry Glanville. Mike, how about this offensive machine the Colts are exhibiting here today?
Well, it is an offensive machine. They can hurt you so many ways. They got Edgerton James in the backfield. They got great receivers. They got, I think, the most accurate passer in the National Football League in Manning. And they're doing it all. They're doing it on the ground. They're doing it on the air, but mostly in the air today. 4
Manning touchdown passes, 3 of them to Harrison. Let's go around the NFL today. The Raiders have moved in front with a third-quarter field goal, the third of the day by Janikowski. Randy Cross.
Well, this game here really has been all about defense. It's defense du jour. As much offense as they've seen in Indianapolis, they haven't seen that much offense down in Miami. A lot of defense. Trace Armstrong here gets himself a sack of Jay Fiedler. As long as Trace Armstrong can do it, his old teammate Kenny Mixon of the Dolphins goes, well, I get Gannon. That kind of evens things up. But look at this, Jay Fiedler. Nice call by Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator of the Dolphins, on that one.
And that was with 16 seconds to go in the half. That would have given them almost 6 full quarters without putting a point on the board against the Raiders, who shut them out in the divisional round this past January. Giants and Chiefs, third quarter, 1 touchdown in the game. Ron Dane from 7 yards out for the Giants. San Diego and Dallas, all kinds of stories here. Doug Flutie, a great start. Emmitt Smith moves in the second in the all-time rushing list. There's his numbers, 11 carries, 65 yards. And Bob Hayes, just a little while ago, into the Ring of Honor at halftime.
That's one of the great stories. Bob Hayes, one of the great football players in the league. But Flutie got a lot of tricks in his bag. Here is pretty conventional. He hits a tight end Jones for a touchdown. But here, you don't know what he's going to do. He starts back, he's going to throw it, he's going to run it, he jumps up, he dunks it, and then he gets the ball in the end zone to Conway for a touchdown. The guy has a lot of weapons. But I tell you, the Cowboys have hung in there. Emmitt Smith gets the record here. Now, they're only 6 points behind, playing at home. They're playing with a lot of character. I like what I see in this Cowboy team.
That was the run right there that moved them past Barry Sanders in the second, trailing only Walter Payton in the all-time rushing list. Ravens, third quarter, only a field goal in this game against Cincinnati. They had a slow start 2 weeks ago in the opener against the Bears, and that offense, again, not producing much.
That's called having football on your minds right there, fellas.
Yeah.
Well, here's the highlight of this game offensively. Matt Stover from 38 yards, because John Kitna is not playing well at quarterback, and Elvis Gerbach is not taking advantage of the chances he gets. One of the problems, though, Kitna does have is they do have a few guys on defense that can chase you down.
Yes, they do. How about that?
Puts a little sack on him there because they got the goose egg still working. Now Elvis Gerbach, another chance, a tip ball.
Where's Trent Gilbert?
Where's Trent?
Where's Trent Gilbert?
Backing up Hasselback in Seattle.
Baltimore did have a touchdown that was overturned in by replay. Patrick Johnson had come in from out of bounds in the back of the end zone. Third quarter at Jacksonville, the Jags lead. Story here, Fred Taylor. Groin injury in the first half, and he's been replaced by Stacey Mack.
And Stacey Mack doing a good job, 6'1", 236 pounds. But this is Fred Taylor. Watch him. Oh, I got pain. You take the ball. I don't want it anymore. You can't play football like that. That's an embarrassing play. But Stacey Mack, 6'1", 236 pounds, out of Temple, and he makes Tennessee look like they don't want to tackle him. He's running hard. Oh, football, baby.
6 carries, 58 yards, and that touch from 22 for Mack. Detroit has run into Tim Couch at his best. Couch with a couple of touchdown passes, leading the Browns. Minnesota has lost a key player. Pro Bowl safety Robert Griffith broke a leg on the opening kickoff. Only a field goal in that game at Chicago. Carolina and Atlanta, 2 Chandler touchdown passes. The second one, though, was to Jamal Anderson, 94 yards, the second longest hookup in Atlanta Falcon history. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel. Get right through.